Welcome back, Vol fans. Boy, that Tennessee volunteer team got a little payback last night, Bob. 86-51 over the Aggies. How sweet it was.
Yeah, a little payback. Texas A&M beat us in College Station by I think like 16, 17 points here not too long ago. So for us to come back and beat them like we did by 35 points, I mean that's pretty sweet.
What it
Um,
was, we probably that first game was one of our worst efforts all year long, and Coach Barnes really challenged this team. I'm sure. I think they challenged their own selves. They were embarrassed by that performance,
mhm.
and they came out determined last night, and A&M kept in it for a little while, shooting the lights out from downtown. But as
Yeah,
soon as that was over, it was over.
it was tied 24-24, and then at that point, Tennessee went on a 62-27 run. I mean, right there, that little run at the end of the first half. And then that point on, it was over. I mean, um,
Second half was a smoke show.
yeah, I mean, they was out there having fun. That was about as good as I've seen Tennessee play, maybe ever, man. I mean, it was playing great.
Well, it was. It was. I think you mentioned to me earlier that it looked like the Globetrotters versus the Generals out there at
A
times.
little bit, yeah.
We were seeing some alley oops, some great backdoor passes, bounce passes,
Hmm.
just steals. I mean, we was you just whatever you wanted to see. Tennessee was putting on a show last night.
Yeah, it really was. Um, Looking at the box score a little bit, KNECT had 24 points, 7 rebounds. Not a bad game,
No,
not
not
a bad
quite
game.
quite 24. It felt like, but
Yeah,
I mean, you look up and it's like they tip the ball off, and you look at the box score, and he's already got 10 points.
but
You know,
honestly, man, I don't know who they gave like player of the game to, but
well, I
that'd
think
been a tough decision between 3 players. I mean, look at AIDOO had 18 points. What was it? 14 rebounds, 3 blocks.
you got double double, dominating on the inside. When he's playing like that, it's going to be hard to beat this Tennessee team.
Yeah, really was. Awaka showed up. I think Barnes experimenting a little bit of playing both of those guys in there. And as long as there's no foul trouble, I think you're going to see a lot more of Awaka and AIDOO in the lineup at the same time. Seemed like it's a good combo. And he had 12 points, 6 boards. But the other guy that might have deserved player of the game was ZEIGLER.
Oh man, what a game! 14 point assist, no turnovers. Don't tell me anything else other than that, and that's
That's you win.
you win.
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't see how you lose if your point guard 14 assists, no turnovers.
yeah,
He also had three steals and nine
four steals,
points,
I think.
4 steals. Okay, yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was right,
yeah.
4 steals. But
9 points, 9 rebounds.
yeah, 9 rebounds.
Point and a
Yeah.
rebound away from a triple double out of your point guard.
Hmm.
Um, the only thing he didn't do well was shoot the ball. He was 3 of 10 from the field. I think 1 of 4 from 3 point line. But he also had one of the sweetest little plays of the game where he, off one of his steals,
Yeah.
there close to midcourt, took it down, and as a defender came in to block his stuff, he just kind of went up and then come up underneath with the other hand and kind of spun it off the glass. And a really sweet move.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah.
Um,
But
is he not the playing as good as anybody we've ever had down there, Bob?
at point guard, probably right now, man, he's had 2 games that's probably been like two of the best point guard games I've seen recently, and he's
Well, I tell you
playing
what,
elite.
and I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but the only other games come to my mind that would stick up to these games has been Tony White's 51 point
Hmm.
explosion.
Yeah.
Uh, and off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you read what else, how Tony, did in that game, assist wise,
Right.
turnover wise. It's been a day or two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, C.J. Watson was pretty dang good.
yeah, we've had some good solid point
Yeah.
guards. Uh,
But man, ZZ's it'll be interesting at the end of his career. Uh, is he the best point guard we ever had down there? And it's a possibility.
I think right now the answer would be yes.
I mean,
We'll,
he's
we'll see how it goes from here,
yeah.
um, but we're about to hit the stretch run, Bob. Um, can we get conference champion, conference co-champion. Uh, Man, we got a rough go though. Auburn this Wednesday night,
Yeah.
7 p.m. home game. Then we're going to have to go on the road to Alabama, on the road to
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, and before we finish out back in Thompson Bowling with the Wildcats.
Rough 4 game stretch right there, man. But one good thing about it is you control your own destiny.
You do that.
And if you win, let's say I'm just gonna assume here if they go 3-1 in that stretch, dang good chance they win it all because
Well, if one of those three are Alabama,
I'd about
then
guarantee.
you are. That's it.
Yeah.
You're at least co-champion minimum.
Right. So at least you control your destiny. And you win in some of these games, and you're putting L's on teams that's competing
against you. Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be some interesting games to watch, man.
Well, it
Starting
is.
Wednesday night.
We do play every team that's in the SEC standings with us around us. Like I said, uh, Tennessee and Alabama's right now is both tied at 11-3.
Mm-hmm.
You've got South Carolina and Auburn just a game back at 10-4, and you've got Kentucky and Florida 2 games back with 4 games to go. Potentially still could get a co-champion out of one of those two guys.
Possible.
By the way, I don't say this very often, but congrats Kentucky. Anybody that goes ahead and puts 117 points against any Bama team, I tip my hat, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Hate Kentucky, but if you're gonna do it against somebody, do it against Bama.
Yes. Yeah. Before we started the podcast, I believe Kentucky scored another basket.
Yeah.
But that was fun to see Bama's misery anytime. I mean, they scored 95. It wasn't like a whole lot of defense was going on, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In that game. But season's coming down to a thing, and Coach Barnes is making his place in history as well.
800th win, Tim. That's a pretty huge milestone. That's what number second active coach, I think, right now behind Calipari.
Cal, yeah,
right behind him. He's closing in on him.
Yeah, it's closer than I realized. 800 wins to 809. Only the 15th coach ever to get to 800.
Impressive.
It is. Only 3 losing seasons out of 37. That's impressive on himself. Look, Bob, I know you've complained. I've complained. Almost every Tennessee fans complained about Rick's postseason record.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But as far as a regular season team, since he's been there, UT's probably been the best regular season team in the conference over the last half dozen years anyway.
Probably right. I mean, I want him to do better in the tournament. And if he stays there long enough, it'll happen. I mean, I think he's had some bad luck. It can't all be coaching. I mean, we talked about it there before we shot the video. Kyle Alexander a few years ago on that Grant Williams team. If he plays...
Yeah, we probably don't get knocked out, and we're probably the team going on that Cinderella run.
Could have very well been. I mean, so he's had some little bit of bad luck. It can't all be coaching. Not a guy that's won that many games. But
this team might be the team that changes it.
It might be. I mean, and he's got a player like KNECHT who can just go off, and he's got a deep team. So he's got all the ingredients to make a deep run.
Yeah. Now we just got to see how, when we get there, what's your seeding, what's the matchups.
Yeah.
Are you avoiding the other hot teams for a while? Are you just avoiding a bad game by yourself? Or if you do have a bad game, are you catching it on a good night when another team's having a bad game?
It's early to talk about this, but honestly, I think the biggest issue Tennessee has is with another big guy. Sometimes AIDOO gets bullied around down low.
He's a little slim.
So if we could just stay away from other big men in the tournament, we could probably make a good run.
Yeah, and I'll be honest about it. If they're playing double low post like they're doing right now, Toby, you're not going to push him around too much.
No, he's stout, dude.
Yeah, so if AIDOO can get you some points and Awaka can bully the other man's big man without fouling too much, we might not even have to worry about big men, Bob.
Right. Basketball is not the only team that's doing very well. The baseball team's looking pretty good. I mean, Vitello, he's
So Tony V's turned that program into a national power.
he really is. He's as good a coach as there is out there, probably at the baseball level.
Tell you what, he's they're 6-1 to start this year off. Going for the sweep this weekend against Albany, which
Mm-hmm.
you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
Killed him yesterday, 21-6. Drew Beam got the win on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Probably hear that a lot this year.
I'll tell you will.
Yeah.
Pitching has not been an issue for this Tennessee team, even though we are probably trying to find out who our third pitcher will be this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's early in the baseball season, but you got to expect Vols to be right there again.
Yeah, I think they will be. They're doing a lot of tweaking right now. I think one of them freshmen will probably end up taking that third spot, but it's early. A lot of talented guys, but Vitello's making a lot of adjustments on the lineup, batting order.
Oh yeah, it's experimental. It's
Yeah.
like when you're playing a cupcake first game of the year in football.
Well, that's the thing you got to do
Yeah.
sometimes when you're loaded, when you got a loaded team, and you're trying to figure out how to
The
get
best
all
pieces.
these great guys some game time. Figure out who's the best matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to throw out there. Probably have another video out here in the next few days. Going to talk a little bit about the NCAA tournament, the
no, college football
college
playoff.
football playoff. Sorry, NCAA. Can't put their name on
Yeah, it's
that
college
stuff.
football.
Yeah,
playoff.
college football playoff. We'll probably do a little breakdown of it. There's been some discussion about it and some maybe tweaks and changes. So we may have a little video about that.
Yeah, because they did tweak it this past week, going into 5-7 model, and they're talking. Well, that's going to last all of 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some interesting stuff about that. So we'll talk about that soon.
off of that right there, I think we're done for this episode, guys. We appreciate you taking time out to spend with us.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little UT sports. I know we love it. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Give us a like and subscribe if you don't care. And until we beat the Tigers Wednesday night,
Mm-hmm.
go Big Orange.